In a Minecraft social experiment, I've placed 200 players on 6 different islands: plains, jungle, desert, snow, waste and swamp, in hope that they will simulate civilization. But just like in real life, if you die, you are dead forever and banned off the server. It will be completely up to the players to write their own story. Be a merchant, become a leader, or go to war. Now everything that happened in this video has chained up to create an insane story that, trust me, you do not want to miss. So lay back, grab a snack and choose an island to root for. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nations. Just before we start, if you want to be in videos like this one, make sure to subscribe and join the Nations Discord. Alright, everyone should be in. Let's go.
Oh god! Okay.
Everyone, don't scatter, bro. Oh my god.
As soon as they all joined, all the players scattered in every direction to collect resources, some heading for the trees and others going down to the mines for ores. The plain team were pretty organized and right away started organizing and sharing their items. They even scouted out all around the island and mapped out to organize their territory. The swamp team were also pretty organized and had a communal storage system right away and started working on a community house to store their item and resources. But it wasn't as easy for all islands. On the waste island, pretty much everything was dead, so no trees, no plants and no food. So they had to deal with the little they have and scout out the island for the little patches of food they could find, or else they couldn't craft. Without precise organization, they could very easily all die, but one of the players, called Sor, stepped up and gave everyone specific roles and instructions to ensure everyone's survival. Like that, I started to believe that they might have a chance, until I saw Sor bridging above the lava, searching for a tree in the most dead part of the island.
Looking for something very important.
What the heck you're looking for?
I need moss.
Never mind, they're all gonna die. Some other players like this man were not so worried about survival and decided to take on 3 polar bears with no armor to get food. What was that for? You just like 1v7 the polar bears.
Well, a man's gotta eat.
This clown guy. After that, I teleported to the other islands to check on how everything was going. And for some reason, as soon as I arrived to the jungle, they all started screaming at me to sell me something they called the product.
Also, we have some product. Do you want some product?
You have product? What is product? Hold up.
Yeah.
Bro, stop giving me this! What is this? No. Don't ask me what just happened. In the jungle, I also talked with this player called Shuf123 who wanted me to give him a mob so he could convince his teammates that he was some prophet or something using it. I don't know. I don't know. What is happening on this island? On the desert island, the players were slowly advancing, building a couple of houses and starting farms. That player called Blanky gave me a tour of the place and it's looking pretty promising. At this point, all the islands had pretty much grouped up in one main location and organized themselves, even made flags for their teams. Apart from waste, they were too busy starving or something. Talking about the organization, the plain island had already built an insane base on top of that natural bridge. Somehow this player called Cubus single-handedly built this entire thing on the first day with the resources that his team gathered. This is truly impressive. Cubus.
I have nothing.
Come here, bro. You building for your team, you doing the good deeds. That's from me,
thank
bro.
you, my buddy. Very nice.
Soon enough, the sun started to set on the 6 islands and marked the end of the first day. On the start of the second day, most teams started to realize that they needed a leader to guide all of them and keep things organized, so most of them chose to make elections where candidates would make speeches and everyone would vote for their favorite one. The plain island were the first one to do that. A lot of their players wanted the role of leader, so they first had to run pre-elections and then select the first top 3 candidates to run for the actual elections. Everyone gathered up at their base and elections started.
A leader needs to be charismatic, they need to not show cowardice.
And I really want to make this the best possible and most comfortable place for all of you.
And a good skill set is mandatory to be a functioning leader.
After the votes, even though the people organizing the elections were expecting Luna MC to win based on the stats of the pre-elections, surprisingly that player called Me Tired was elected as the plane's leader. When a player is elected as leader, he is given a leader's crown that gives that player double the amount of hearts. This is an incredible perk to have and makes this position not only valuable for the power it gives, but for the strengths of the additional health that comes with it. And this tends to put a little target on the heads of leaders. Just like Plains, the Waste Island held an election and chose the player who has been organizing them since day one, Sor, as their leader.
he did not stop causing issues, and I sent a bunch of men after him, and they viciously ripped him apart. Except I sent a message to Dark Live telling him to tell them to wait.
I didn't see.
did
Are you
not do
clapping?
that.
A man died. A man died. I mean, it was really funny, right? I got this all recorded.
On the Swamp Island, elections were also held, but there it was quite different. The player who won the elections was meant for this position. This is Nixie, the Swamp leader. Since day one, he has been hosting meetings with his team, organizing everyone, created a chain of command, organized the areas of the islands and everyone's roles. With all of that, I'm barely scratching the surface of how much this guy was dedicated to his team.
No, I'm just saying, like, if somebody is going to attempt something, I will come after them. I could die, I don't care, as long as Nick is safe.
This man was the perfect definition of a true leader and loved by his people. But this can't be said for all the leaders. On the Jungle Island, one man was also dedicated to helping his team, but not in the same democratical approach. The Jungle Island were facing an issue, and one of their teammates has been causing a lot of issues around the island, bombing public areas and killing people. So to face this danger, that player from day one with the camel, Shuf123, self-proclaimed himself leader of jungle and ordered everyone to hunt down that player.
We are temporarily taking control of the jungle. We can...
Wait, what?
Wait, hold on.
They all searched the island for an hour and found him.
Wait, where are you? It's the same course,
right
1150, negative 250.
Okay, no, we are killing the camel.
He pearled.
Wait, he's fighting me?
You see me.
I'm just
I hit him?
I don't have any pearls. I'm sorry.
Sadly, all their efforts were in vain because the player managed to run away in the end. On the other side of the map, there is one island we haven't talked much about yet. This is the Snow Team. By far one of the most organized and advanced civilizations on those 6 islands. This entire village was built by one player called Nix Lunari, who eventually also got elected as their leader. To say that the Snow Team are not the most powerful team at the moment would be an understatement. They had a great leadership, a chain of command with a military general, great PvPers, a huge supply of food, weapon, gear and houses for everyone. Plus the fact that all the players were extremely loyal to their leader, this made them an amazing team. Moving on to other islands, in the desert a massive church was built, and when I asked players about it, they all told me it was a church for what they called the sun god. Inside that church they also held some sort of elections where they elected their pharaoh, a player named Blanky.
The desert will stand out at the top, come on.
Which followed up with a human sacrifice?
A team's strength is controlled by its weakest link. Zach. Goodbye.
What is this? This player is banned, how did they convince him to do that? This though was not the only crazy thing happening. At the same time on the Jungle Island, Shuf had announced to his people that he was planning on keeping the crown and his position of leader. And this didn't seem to please the jungle people, as they were planning to have an election later on this day.
To show you that I mean no harm, here, I'm taking off my armor. You can kill me if you don't like my speech. But I'm telling you, I'm leading you to victory. The other people that wanted to run are not liking my speech. You are the power-hungry people. I'm ready to let go of the crown. But I'm telling you, I work for you, not the other way around. We can be great. Jungle is great.
Wait, did they just kill him? The jungle people had no mercy and murdered Shuf for the hostile takeover he made, and ran an election afterwards where a player called Pu and Lu was elected as leader. At this point, all island had a political system and a leader. It won't take long before some alliances would start to be created. Anyways, this is where day 2 ended. On the start of this new day, now that all the island had their leaders and were well organized, players started going around all the islands to visit their neighbors. Most of them just went around looking at the capitals of other islands, made friends, attended ceremonies of the sun god, or spent a night at the hotel that this player opened next to the beach.
While we are next to the ocean, which, as you can see, the pristine waters, we also have a pool for people who might not enjoy the salt water.
Oh wow.
Secret population of cave
What
cows
the?
and sheep.
What the?
As you can see, this is their favorite wall. I don't understand why they like this wall so much, but they just do. I'm gonna need to charge you for those.
On the Plains Island, their leader had a trip planned today to the Snow capital, where he was planning to negotiate an alliance treaty with the Snow leader. But his second-in-command Luna had something planned for when Tired was away. Since the leader election, Luna and her associate have been pretty disappointed with the team electing Tired instead of her. For them, Tired was not fit as a good leader for the team and wanted to take his place. As soon as the Plains escort arrived to Snow, Luna and her team gathered up everyone on the island and started telling them lies about how Tired left to the Snow Island and was abandoning them to side up with Snow instead.
Tired has gone out on a diplomatic journey towards Snow to try and get us an alliance with them, but that is not true. Essentially, he has gone over there to seek refuge with a few of his diplomats, and he is not coming back. He has left us here he invited me pretty much because I am on top of his council and I declined, so he has left me in charge of this nation and he pretty much is left with the crown and also his diplomats, so we don't have any of them.
The Plain team were pretty shocked and totally believed this made-up story that Luna just told them because she was their second-in-command. All the players of the Plain team decided to now follow Luna as their leader and she was crowned Queen of the Plains Island. Meanwhile, Tired was just informed of what just happened, but was unable to go back to the Plain Island where he was banished. In a couple minutes, everything was turned upside down for him. With nowhere to go, the Snow higher-ups decided to give him shelter in their town for the moment being.
You guys can stay here for a little bit if you wish to.
Yeah,
we might.
Gotcha.
Far away on the Waste Island, they were also planning to pay a visit to their neighbors, but not in the same peaceful way. This player called Darklive has been trying to convince his leader for the past day to launch an attack on the Jungle Island to steal trees and animals from them, which the Waste Island didn't have. After carefully planning this operation, they called it Plan Eclipse and gathered up their team for a speech.
Today is the day. Operation Eclipse, alright? Except, Dark, I don't care about whatever your stupid plan was, alright? We're gonna burn as many trees there as we can see, okay?
Oh.
We had to start the server with no saplings. How would they feel? Well, they had everything served them on a silver platter, laughing at us. We're gonna take everything from them, okay?
Sor knew that doing that was a bad idea and that the violence would lead to nothing, but pressured by his team to launch this offensive, he decided to go on with Dark's plan. He would go to that island in jungle called Markiplier Island, where he would meet with the jungle leader and discuss their relationships between their teams. This meeting though would be a distraction, because on the other side of the island the Waste soldiers would be led by Dark, and would steal saplings and animals and burn down the jungle forest. Once they had accomplished their mission, they retrieved as fast as possible to their island, and the same was Sor once he was done with the meeting. The jungle leader would soon be informed by his people of what just happened on their island, and would instantly declare Waste as their enemies, not allowing any of them to ever step on the jungle island anymore. Moving on from all the chaos, on this day all the islands worked very hard on their bases and majorly improved them. When the sun started setting, the leaders of all 6 islands decided to meet up in a secret location to have a talk. To make it short, they talked about the Waste attack on Jungle and Luna taking control of Plains. Waste and Jungles have been established as enemies, same for Snow and Plains, but Snow was backed up by some of the other leaders who also saw that Luna was sus. Just before we go on with day 4, I just wanted to let you know that if you ever want to try out an experience like Nations for yourself easily, I run a public server that pretty much does exactly that. With politics, lore, history and roleplay, I'm pretty sure you will have a lot of fun. If you want to check it out, the IP is on screen and in the description. Now, let's go on with the next day. With all the tensions that we saw between the islands yesterday, it was not ready to stop. In the desert, the Pharaoh had started to go a bit mad over power, giving orders to everyone, executing anyone who disobeyed his order or that he just didn't like. He also constantly kept guards around him, so I wanted to try them. What happens if I just like shank the Pharaoh? Bro.
Well, the damage is coming in a second. Don't worry about it. You'll die in a second.
But the most crazy thing is that one of the guards found 2 swamp players who were in the desert village without asking permission to be there. So Blanky ordered for them to be put inside cages and executed one of them publicly.
No, don't break the holy guy. Don't break the holy guy. No.
Oh wait,
Which caught the attention of Nick, the swamp leader, who was not gonna let this slide and let the murder of one of his people be unpunished. Blanky him wasn't scared or worried about that, but his second in command, a player called Executioner, stopped to believe that Blanky was a good leader and fit to lead the desert team. But before he was able to do anything about it, Blanky was aware of him potentially wanting to rebel against him, so he organized his assassination.
And I'm the foundation of the desert. Without me, there is no sand. Without me, there is nothing.
You're insane.
I find myself quite clinically happy, to say the least. I think everyone in desert can agree I'm
What is
fine,
this
isn't that
guy
right?
on? Holy crap.
Yeah.
Why he's saying no? He's saying no.
Yeah.
So, Executioner, do you have any last words?
Yes. I knew this was going to happen.
Executioner was one step ahead and expected that to happen, and had prepared an escape tunnel for that exact situation.
Don't let him get away!
Stay alive!
I'll do anything it takes, it doesn't matter. People will follow me. If they don't, they know they'll end up like you. A dramatic fate for a dramatic man.
By some kind of miracle, Executioner managed to escape the desert island and fled to Swamp, where he got in contact with Nick and both started planning an attack on Desert to save the Swamp hostage and take the crown off Blanky's head. At the Plain Island, things were not the best for Luna and her government. They were now aware that Snow were their enemies and that they would try to do something to put back Tired on the throne. They tried reaching out to the jungle team in hope to make an alliance with them, but they refused. Same for the other islands. On the Waste Island though, an alliance was getting created. Nick was here to visit Sor and proposed to him a Waste Swamp alliance that Sor would accept. But this alliance wouldn't last long. As soon as Nick left the Waste Island, Sor was held at gunpoint by Dark and his goons. Dark was not satisfied with Sor's position as a leader. For him, Sor was too peaceful and did not do enough for the team. Then Eclipse was Dark's idea and a total success for him. He was a better fit to lead Waste. He requested for Sor to give him the crown, or else he would kill him. Sor, with no other choice, gave up the crown to Dark, and he was now the new Waste leader. Sor, right after that, managed to sneak away and leave the Waste Island.
You took a little too long to get to Dark, okay?
I was talking with the Snow Leader, and you decide.
And while you were talking to the Snow Leader, I had 5 axes to my neck. What do you think I was messaging you help for nothing?
Back to the Swamp Island. The operation to take out Blanky was about to begin. Nick gathered all of the Swamp army.
Alright, listen everybody. So, something criminal just happened, and we are just not gonna allow it, alright? Slemic, one of our builders, just got killed, alright? Now, I think we can all agree that this act is unjust, this act cannot be undone, and there needs to be consequences for the person capable of this.
They all gathered up and started marching towards the desert. Once they arrived, the plan was clear. Surround the build where the swamp hostage was in, save them, and take out Blanky and whoever was on his side.
You are going to pay for this, alright? Alright, I don't even want to hear a single word coming out of your damn mouth, alright? Why is one of my members in a damn jail? Don't you dare.
Oh! Whoa!
Fucking pay for this!
Fine.
Sadly, the hostage was killed, but the desert was liberated from Blanky and saved by Swamp. Nick gave Blanky's crown to Executioner, who he thought was a good fit to lead the desert. This would create a strong alliance between those two islands, and the hole in the back of the church caused by the explosion would be kept as a symbol of a new era. Day 5. It was a busy day in the Snow Village. Everyone was getting ready for battle. Lunari, the Snow Leader, had reached out to Luna and told her that if she doesn't give up the crown, the Snow Army would march to Plains and restore Tired by force. She She also reached out to Waste and Desert, who agreed that Tired must be restored as the Plain leader, and accepted to help out in the offensive if it were to happen. Luna consulted with her council, and they decided that they won't back down. Snow, Waste and Desert prepared their armies, and they all met at the gates of the Plain's capital.
People of Plains, you have been lied to. Luna MC is not your leader, and I will not accept this false leadership, nor do my allies in Desert or Swamp.
We will not submit to you, and we won't run. We are going to fight you. No matter if the odds are 100 on 5, we will fight you until the death.
The battle was a massacre. 3 people versus an army. Luna, her council, Soot and PP Houghton were killed. Lunari, Nick and Gestacutioner went up to the stage and explained to the Plains people the situation and were about to crown back Me Tired. But things were not about to happen as expected.
To the people of Plains, thank you all for being decent and peaceful while this was happening. Obviously, I know, pretty much planning this with Snow and everyone else. Obviously, I couldn't since I was exiled.
Tired planning with us?
Shh,
You planned with us?
I tried.
No, we had to do all the work, Tired.
But
You
yeah.
lost your nation, and now you're trying to take the credit for my work.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I take away a bad leader for their sake, and I put another one back?
I've done nothing wrong.
Everything you've said when you were over as a refugee was never for their betterment. It was
It was-
always about what you wanted. You wanted to be the leader, not they needed you as a leader.
Tired was killed. Lunari explained how he did not help in organizing the attack to liberate his own island, and thus he wasn't fit to be their leader. Replacing a bad leader with another bad one would have made all of that for nothing.
Do you see one person who actually could turn this place around? Clown.
Hi guys.
She instead put in charge one of her higher-ups, a player called Clownpierce, at the head of Plains, and they officially became a colony of the Snow Island. Swamp and Desert were shocked. This was not part of the plan, but they were not in the position to do anything about it, so they decided to leave it for later and went back to their islands. Talking of corrupted leaders, on the Waste Island, Dark Live randomly decided to try to kill Ilub, a player that used to be the second in command of Waste while Sor was the leader. I don't know how, but he managed to escape alive and take refuge in the Swamp Island where Sor was hiding. Also, Dark announced to his team that he has been in contact with Spoo, the jungle leader, and that they want revenge for what Waste has done to their island, and he accepted to have a battle to settle it down. This shows how degraded the Waste team has become, down to killing anyone, poor management, and resort to violence to resolve any of their issues. Today, Waste would finally settle it down with Jungle. Both their leaders decided that violence was the only way. Dark Live and Poo and Lu would have a duel, and after that, the rest of the team would join in the battle.
I love you guys. If I die, please immediately emerge into battle and don't let these guys immediately get me. Alright, Poo? I'm sorry it has to come down to this, but good luck.
Dark won the duel, and as soon as the jungle leader was dead, the Waste members killed the rest of the jungle team. But out of nowhere, Nick showed up with the Swamp Army to avenge his friend Sor, who Dark dethroned. They followed the Waste soldiers and killed them one by one, but Dark himself managed to escape. But at what cost? He now had no one else by his side. No teammates, no Waste team, no jungle team. This was not the only leader that Nick would have to face though. Something had to be done about Plains. They deserved better, and someone needs to do something for them to finally have a real leader from someone among them. Nick had a meeting with Gestacutioner. They talked about it and both had the same opinion, that Plain must be liberated. But after the last leader meeting they had with Lunari and Clown, it was very clear that they were not gonna give up on Plains. So Swamp and Desert plus the rebels of the Plain Island were gonna go for the last result. They all met at the Swamp Island and geared up.
Swamp has already won 2 battles.
Yeah,
If we can win those 2, we can win this one, alright? It is our biggest battle yet, but we will win.
Let's do this.
Amen. We get some clap for Nixie.
Whoa! I love my boy Nicholas.
Question by the way, are we allowed to destroy the buildings of the snow people?
Yeah, go burn everything, take them down. They were all gonna march to the snow capital and give them a choice: liberate Plain or pay the price.
Snow people, I mean no harm, at least not yet, okay?
Not yet.
Okay, I have an army behind me, okay? What do you expect? I really hope that you guys are gonna change your mind. You guys are playing right into our hands. If you're willing to survive, and if you're willing to have peace, now's your last chance to go behind this army and be protected. I offered that we could, you know, talk things out, and I'm sad that it has to be this way, but you putting Clown on the throne of Plains, someone who isn't part of their own country, like, that doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
Doesn't have to make sense to you.
The battle lasted the entire day, and there were a lot of losses from all sides. Lunari and Clown both died in the fight. Snow was left unguided. Waste and Desert retreated to the Plain Island to finally crown a real leader for them. The people of Plains decided that this player called Cam should be now their leader and was crowned King of Plains. It seems like the world was now at peace, ruled by good people. But how long before one of them turns rogue and starts chasing more power? How long before the cycle repeats itself? Dark, driven by power, and Pooh, powered by revenge, both led their people to their demise. Blanky, blinded by power, dug his own grave. And Lunari, using the power she had, made a choice for people who never asked her to do so. In this world, humans chase power, but who knows what they're capable of when power chases them. It was Ray. See you next time.